everyone, and welcome to Walk Away from the Workbook. If you're new here, my name is Nicole Seymour, and I'm a kindergarten teacher in California. How do I get my child to want to read? How do I get my child to enjoy reading? How do I get my child to read more? Children are always looking for control in a situation. They are young. They don't get a lot of choices that they get to make on their own. So when parents are telling them, you must read to me for 20 minutes, or you must read these 2 books to me, it immediately makes a lot of children feel like they need to push back and resist. One of the easiest changes that you can make in your daily routine is, rather than forcing your child to read to you, ask them what books they would like you to read to them. Make it fun, do voices, make it a storytelling adventure. When I was little and I was growing up, my dad always did bedtime stories with my sister and I. Whether he was reading stories to us or he was making up stories as he went along, we always had a story time to look forward to. My mom also read us stories, and she always did the best voices. I can still hear her rendition of the monster at the end of this book, and I wish I could do her Grover voice as well as she did. Since we're talking so much about how to get your child engaged in reading and loving reading, I want to share with you an author that you may or may not have heard of. I'm talking, of course, about Mo Willems, the author of the Pigeon books, such as Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, The Pigeon Needs a Bath, and Don't Let the Pigeon Stay Up Late. Mo Willems is also the author of the very popular Elephant and Piggy book series and Knuffle Bunny. As a teacher, as a mom, Mo Willems is one of my absolute favorite authors to use when teaching and reading with my kids. His books are absolutely engaging, they're hilarious, they're fun, and they really foster a love for reading that you probably didn't know existed in your kids. Other than the Pigeon book series, the Elephant and Piggy book series, and the Knuffle Bunny book series, Mo Willems is the author to many other books that you probably didn't even realize. His books are engaging, relatable, fun, and often very interactive, so kids naturally gravitate towards them. In a video about how Mo Willems got started as a children's book author, he indicates that when he's writing a book, he doesn't just want to write the book, he wants to write the book so that it can be read and played. He writes stories that have very simplistic drawings so that a young 5 or 6-year-old child could easily replicate it and create a story all on their own with that same character. You can learn even more about Mo Willems and how he got his start at pigeonpresents.com. But today what I really want to do with you is show you why the Elephant and Piggy books and Pigeon books are wonderful for first-time readers. If you're a teacher or a homeschooling parent, I'm also going to be giving you some ideas for activities you can do to enhance your language arts curriculum. First, let me introduce you to one of Mo Willems' most popular characters, the pigeon. In most of the stories about the pigeon is talking and communicating with the reader and trying to persuade the reader to let him do something that he is not supposed to be doing. In Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, the pigeon is trying to convince you to let him drive the bus. In Don't Let the Pigeon Stay Up Late, he's trying to convince you that he's not tired. In The Pigeon Wants a Puppy, he's trying to convince you that he is ready and rearing to go to have his own little puppy at home. Having books like these, where characters are talking to your child, interacting with your child, and encouraging your child to talk, are awesome books to get them to love reading. Just take a look at my son Jack reading some pigeon books, and you'll see for yourself how excited he gets when he gets to read these books on his own.
Hey, can I drive the bus? No! Please, I'll be careful. No! Everybody knows that puppies need plenty of sunshine and water. You don't want me to take a piggyback ride on my puppy or play tennis with it? That's silly. Puppies don't do that.
I know.
Puppies are too little. They can't carry the pigeon, but it will be carry the pigeon because it will be super big. I am a puppy loving pigeon.
Next, let's talk about another popular series in Mo Willems' collection, the Elephant and Piggy books. Elephant and Piggy are 2 best friends that are often talking with each other through their stories. On occasion, they will talk to the reader as well, but again, these books are highly interactive, and the characters have their own personalities that you can bring to life with your own voices. In the Elephant and Piggy books, Elephant's name is Gerald, and Gerald's character is a little bit more cautious and a little bit more serious than Piggy's character. Piggy's character is a lot of fun, always high energy, always has some great ideas, very imaginative, and extremely lovable and caring. Going on adventures with Elephant and Piggy, you'll notice that the pictures are simplistic, but they also tell a great story. It's always very clear how the characters are feeling, what they might be thinking, and how they might be expressing themselves simply based on the illustrations. I promise if you head to the library and you find Elephant and Piggy books or Pigeon books or even Knaffle Bunny, which we actually don't have a copy of at our house, you will not be disappointed. Your child will not be disappointed. It is so much fun to read these books to your child, with your child, and eventually they will take off all by themselves because they will have heard the story so many times. They will feel confident to read them to you, and they will be excited to read them to you because they are the best books ever. So now that you know how fun the Elephant and Piggy books and the Pigeon books are, let's talk about how you can use them in your classroom as a teacher or as a homeschooling parent. Let's start with the Pigeon books. The pigeon, as I said before, is often trying to convince the reader or someone in the story to let him do something. It lends itself very well to an opinion writing or a persuasive writing unit. You could have your child or your students discuss why they would or would not let the pigeon get what he wants and have them cite examples from the story. You could also set up a fun debate in your classroom where one person takes the stance of the pigeon and the other person takes the stance of the reader or the other character in the story. Students would have to prepare their arguments and make sure they understood both sides of the story in order to make this debate work. But imagine how much fun it would be for kids to do a debate based on characters that they love from books they enjoy reading. If you're working on inflection, expression, or intonation when you're teaching your young reader, you could have the students act out the Pigeon books or the Elephant and Piggy books. Acting things out and doing storytelling activities like this are really important and really fun ways to get your child to understand how important fluency and expression are when reading. When I'm teaching young readers to read fluently and with expression, I often read like a robot so they can hear how dull and boring it would sound if there were no inflections in our voice. When I read like a robot to my students, not only do they find it highly amusing and entertaining, they also seem to understand a lot more quickly why it's important for us to use proper intonation when we are reading to others. So like I said, you could create a storytelling activity with the Pigeon books or with the Elephant and Piggy books, or really with any of Mo Willems' popular titles. You could also try this activity that I did with my first graders a few years ago. Get some sticky notes and cover up all of the punctuation in one of the Elephant and Piggy books or in one of the Pigeon books. Read the story without any punctuation once. It will be so disengaging, your students will probably laugh at the end because of how boring it sounds. After you read the story once through in that boring, robotic monotone, go back and ask the students to put in the proper punctuation. Ask them what they think would fit in that part of the story based on what the character is talking about, how they might be feeling, and what the illustration is telling you so that they can infer what might need to go there in order for them to make the proper intonation. I found that when I did this activity in first grade, my students were a lot more apt to remember to add punctuation into their writing because they realized how important it was after we read The Pigeon with no punctuation. These are just some of the ways that you can use the Pigeon books and the Elephant and Piggy books in your classroom or at home to encourage your child to be a stronger reader and writer. If you want more ideas, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'm happy to answer your questions. That's all I've got for you today, but if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with a friend who might find it useful or interesting. If you're on social media, you can find me at Walk Away From the Workbook on Facebook or at Seymour Apoli on Instagram. Have fun reading and learning with your little ones. See you next time. Bye.